Hoorah!
Hey there, y'all. Welcome on back to the Mountain Man. Now, today, instead of talking about an upcoming season of Mountain Monsters, because nobody knows when the hell it's coming, I wanted to go back and talk about one of my favorite cliffhangers that the show left us off on, and that was the cliffhanger in the 2019 season, most commonly referred to as Season 6, but now that Discovery Plus and Max and Travel Channel owns it and everything, they do call it Season 4, so I just want to clear up that confusion. You're not missing any seasons. It's just the way they combine the seasons. The first couple of seasons, when they switched the show to Travel Channel and Discovery and all that, they grouped together some of the original seasons, which makes Season 6, the 2019 season, Season 4. So I just want to get that out of the way. But now that we cleared up all the confusion, let's start theorizing. So basically, what I want to talk about today is what in the hell was in that box that the road team left for the Ames team in the very end of the 2019 season. Because it's never really made much sense to me. I mean, the entire season, the Ames team was pretty much led on by the road team. They're just following orders because they know that the road team is a very dangerous threat, and they don't want to mess with them, and they wanted to know more about the Dark Forest. So they just kind of went along with it. When the season started, the Ames team wasn't sure if they were even going to go out hunting anymore. They were like, we just kind of feel like giving up. You know, it's the Dark Forest is just playing too much on our minds, and we gotta get out of here. We gotta stop doing this cryptid hunting. You know what I mean? So obviously they continued on because they figured Trapper would want them to continue, and of course he did, and that's why they're still doing it to this day. Well, hopefully if they ever announce season 9. But when the season started, the Ames team was led into this old barn, and they watched this video that the rogue team left for them on this projector, and it basically just set the entire season up. So the skeleton masked man was leading the video. He was in a disguised voice. No one really knows what he looks like or sounds like in real life. It could be literally anyone, but he was basically telling them that if they wanted to continue their quest in the Dark Forest, then they would have to chase 6 legendary creatures rooted deeply in Cherokee folklore, which would eventually lead them to the almighty Spearfinger. And the 6 creatures that those were included the Wild Woman, the Silver Giant, the Coyote King, the Cherokee Death Cat, the Cherokee Devil, and the Raven Mocker. And if they chased all 6 of those and tried to hunt them and all that, they didn't have to technically catch all of them, because we all know that they didn't. Not a single damn one of them did they catch. Well, if they chased them, then they would eventually find the Spearfinger. But the thing that's weird about the season is they went through all the lists, they chased all the creatures except for one, the Raven Mocker. They never really went after him, but they did go after him before, so I'm not really 100% sure. I think maybe his episode got canceled. Because I remember when the season was brand new and coming out, there was 11 episodes, it said, on this list that I saw. And one of them was called Battling the Raven Mocker, and then that one never ended up coming out, and there only ended up being 10 episodes, so I'm not really sure what happened there. I just don't know. Everything about that season was just very, like, maybe it was rushed. I don't know, because it just, like, nothing got followed up on, you know? It was just really weird. But it was an out there kind of season, dealt with paranormal type stuff and all that supernatural kind of stuff. But it was a fun season too. That's why I liked it so much. But yeah, anyways, back to the point. Obviously, the AMC never really found Spearfinger in the end of the season. It's kind of weird, and the road team obviously never ended up going after them again. So where do they go? Nothing about it really makes any sense. I mean, they were a huge threat to the Ames team before. Why are they not present in season 7 or 8? You know, it doesn't make any sense. And they'll likely never come back either. That's the thing. I kind of doubt that they ever will, but you never know. Maybe they will. But anyways, yeah, when the season ended, they went through all those creatures, except for the Raven Mocker for some reason. Nobody knows why. But they ended up finding in the Little Red Shed, which has a huge history with the Cherokee Devil, the little Cherokee Indian girl, and basically Buck ends up finding a torch buried underneath the floor in the Little Red Shed. He ends up finding that because he just starts thinking about, you know, dig deep, dig deep. Like, that's what the video that the road team gave to the Ames team to watch kept saying. So it kept, like, replaying in his mind, and he starts digging deep, and then he realizes there's a torch. It was buried in the Little Red Shed underneath it. And this torch, which is called the Twisted Torch, we really don't know what it does, because that's when the season ends. And we obviously never get a follow-up kind of episode to that, because the next season has nothing to do with any of the events from the Dark Forest. It's just completely different. It's about Trapper because, he passed away and everything, and it was all about him and his adventure that he set up for the AIM's team in the Tiger Valley. So it really is unfortunate because it was a great storyline, and it just got completely sidelined for something that isn't as good. I mean, I'm glad they made it about Trapper the next season, but I still think they could have done that while still like incorporating the past events from the season before into it somehow. You know what I mean? I don't think they had to completely abandon it. And like they could have just said, we'll go back to it eventually, but they never did. They never did. It's very unfortunate. Hopefully they will the next season, whenever the hell that will be, but who knows? Anyways, yeah, I'm wondering if that twisted torch that they found, because we don't know anything about it really. We don't really know what it was meant to be for, but I'm wondering if it was maybe some kind of summoning device that would bring the Spearfinger to its holder, whoever would hold that torch and probably light it, and they have to ignite it. Well, maybe they'd get to encounter the Spearfinger. I'm not sure, because if you think about it, that skeleton masked man was actually holding probably the twisted torch in that video. He was holding some kind of torch, and then all of those cloaked figures that were following the AIM's team around throughout the entire season, they were all holding torches too. So obviously torches are deeply rooted into Cherokee folklore. And I don't know, they're just like a way of protection, you'd assume. Like a torch, it's fire. You want to stay the hell away from it, like Shere Khan did in the Jungle Book. You know what I mean? So maybe it was a summoning device of the Spearfinger. And we never actually got to see the AIM's team light that torch because, yeah, the next season had nothing to do with anything from the Dark Forest or any of those events. So we really can't know for sure. But the thing is, how do you light this torch? That's the thing. Well, I'm wondering. So the AIM's team had the torch. They found it in the Little Red Shed. They went back. They ran all the way back to Buck's truck. They got out of harm's way, they thought, but then when they got back to Buck's truck, they ended up realizing that they had a little visitor waiting for them, and that was, of course, the leader of the rogue team, the skeleton masked man. He was in his truck. He dropped a present off for them in the back of Buck's truck, and right when he saw the AIM's team, he looked back, gave him a sly old sinister smile with his skeleton mask, and he just hauled ass out of there. Obviously, the AIM's team couldn't go after him or nothing, so they decided to, go check out and investigate what the hell he left for them in the back of Buck's truck. And they opened it, they all gasped, and that's when the season ended. And then it just cut back to that video that the rogue team made for the AIM's team with that skeleton masked man saying that famous line, 6 steps to the west from the rock with the F. I believe that's how it ended, right? I don't know. It was showing the video either way. But yeah, it's very, very unusual how they ended the season. I mean, it's not unusual because it's a cliffhanger. It's a damn well fine cliffhanger. But we never ended up finding out what was in that box. What was that present that the rogue team left for the AIM's team? They left them something, and I'm wondering, this is where we're going to get to the big main theory of this video. I'm wondering if what was in that box was actually the igniting piece that would essentially light that damn twisted torch and possibly summon the Spearfinger. I mean, it makes perfect sense, guys. What the hell else could have been in there? I mean, a skull from the Stonish Giant. I mean, that's what I was thinking the last couple of years. That's what I thought was probably in there. But it just doesn't really make any sense. Why would they want a skull from a Stonish Giant? Just to let them know that they were the ones that killed the Stonish Giant? Like, what does that even have to do with the whole Dark Forest quest in the first place? I don't really understand. I think something that would make the AIM's team gas. Well, I think that anything would really probably like that would probably make the AIM's team gas, to be honest. A little igniter, like a lighter of some kind, probably wouldn't make them gasp like that. But what if it had a note attached to it that told them what they were supposed to do with that lighter? Maybe it says, you have the torch now, light it and summon the Spearfinger. It makes sense. You put these little puzzle pieces together, it really does make sense. But the thing is, they never actually went after all the creatures. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it was fast enough for them to be igniting this torch to summon the Spearfinger, because they never went after the Ravenwalker. That's the main thing. Is I just don't understand why they never went after the Ravenwalker. It really doesn't make sense to me. They were supposed to go after all 6 creatures, and they did, I think, right? Did they? I think there was maybe another one they missed out on too. I know they went after the Cherokee Devil and the Cherokee Death Cat and the Coyote King. Well, I mean, they kind of went after him, I think. I don't think they ever actually made a full episode going after him. But it was just like the cloak figures in general was kind of like he was them. I don't know. It was everything about the season was so supernatural. And they went after the Silver Giant, remember that? And the Wily Woman too, of course, was the first one they went after. But yeah, they never ended up going after the Ravenwalker, and it doesn't really make any sense. It really doesn't. They did go after him back, long ago in a previous season, but I don't think that would count. Maybe it does though. Maybe if they went after him in the past, then I guess it would count. I'm not sure. Either way, I do think that what was in that box was a note and an igniter of some kind, a lighter, maybe just a normal lighter you find at the old Dollarama, you know what I mean? Or maybe it was some kind of special lighter, probably, that is, rooted in Cherokee folklore somehow, and or maybe it's just like a match or something, I'm not really sure. And maybe it wasn't anything too special, but another thing is that maybe that igniting device was buried underneath the rock overhang. That's what one of my commenters said, a good old subscriber and fan of the channel. He was theorizing that. I gotta give him a lot of credit because that is kind of where this whole theory came from. That's what got me started on this whole topic again because I'm always thinking about it. Every few months it always comes back in my mind, and I want to figure out what the hell was in that box. But he really got me started thinking on it this time and got me all fired up on this whole topic. But yeah, I do want to give a big shout out to Drew Willis because that was his original theory. He thought that maybe the igniting device, the match or whatever the hell it was, the lighter, maybe it was buried in the rock overhang, and it could be. But I think that a match, I mean, it's kind of a delicate kind of device, so I feel like it probably wouldn't be buried in the dirt and rock, in the harsh environments there in the rock overhang. I don't know. I feel like probably not, but you never know. It could be. The thing is, the Ames team has this box still. They still have this twisted torch. They never put it back, or at least we don't know if they did, because they never followed up on it. But the thing, it's just so weird because you think a huge cliffhanger like this, possibly the biggest cliffhanger in the entire series, would have got a follow up, Like, I just don't really understand. Ames team is really bad for that, making these big cliffhangers and then never really following up on them because they've done it before with other things too, like the Bigfoot graveyard chapter found, or trying to find out who the hell killed the Stonish giant. We still don't know. They're really bad for that, but at least those weren't really cliffhangers. They did kind of wrap up those storylines in some way. I think just because they don't have answers, because I think a lot of things is probably scripted on Matt Monsters. Obviously, we know that. But this whole storyline, it's like they easily could have picked it up the next season. They don't have an excuse for not doing that. It's not like the next season actually came out all that long away from this season, So it really doesn't make sense. It was only like a year after, pretty much. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Big thank you to Drew Willis for just getting me started on this topic because it's always been a video that I wanted to make because it's always been a topic of interest. It's always been something that you guys comment down below in the comment section on all kinds of my videos. I'm always getting that question. What in the hell was in that box? We all want to know. Well, that's what I think it was. I think it was an igniter, a lighter, a match, something that would ignite that damn twisted torch and possibly summon the damn Spearfinger. That's just my theory and Drew Willis's theory too, because he kind of came up with it. I just kind of stole the whole idea. Sorry, Drew. But anyways, yeah, we'll definitely be doing some more Mountain Monsters theories in the future because there's lots of other questions that I want answers to from this damn show about these 6 hillbillies running around the damn woods acting like Dan Haggerty and Grizzly Adams. You know what I mean? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll see y'all next time right here on the Mountain Man. Hoorah! We gonna catch a monsters.